This was the very first tree that I found a pine cone underneath. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with what I am talking about when I mention the pine cones, these are them. These are the two different pine cones that were found below the arches that I believe, that I am confident are built by Sasquatch. These pine cones were brought there and intentionally placed beneath them as a message, as something. Some have suggested that they were left there for me, intentionally, as a gift, as a message. I don't know. I don't know why they were brought in. I don't know for sure. I can only speculate to that. But I do know that they did not grow in that forest. And I do know that they were definitely placed there, intentionally left there. So there is some kind of meaning or message behind them. I haven't deciphered that definitively. But these are a subalpine tree. They are not native to the region that I am doing my investigation in. These come from a tree a few hundred miles away. This is a high elevation tree. It will not grow in that climate. And look at the type of scars that were in this tree. Those look like somebody would have had to use a damn chisel. And then, so that's where the tree was first hung up at, getting it down those. I mean, it looks like they had to like dig it out. And I don't quite know what all this discoloration is. It goes all the way down the tree. I suppose that's just the dust and the crumble from fighting that tree down. But look at where the tree is now. I mean, it's like just fully like ground away. Both trees are chipped up, ground away. And then right here, look at the scarring there. Same thing. Like, that was seriously worked. That took time. That took effort. Repeated, like, rubbing and gouging. And then you can see up above, the lighting's kind of poor, but there's scarring up in there. It's just not really coming out very good. Oh, there we go. So that's the scarring where it was first hung up. And then they scraped it on down. And look at the scarring on that. I mean, there's no way this tree just kind of bent over. And then it's even... Okay, now look at that scarring. Look, like, that's a good, 15% of the tree was scraped away, getting it into place. And it's wedged between this dead old punky tree. So like this was one that they really, really didn't want to see stand back up, I guess. Because they put a lot of time into this one. And this is the very first one where we found the pine cone. I mean, look at the bend in this tree. It goes, it goes up. It's, those notches where it was worked. Look at those scars. Like, those are huge chunks of the tree gone. And then the tree bends way over there and scars up that tree. Actually, look, it scars up that one. And there's some scars on that one. So, I mean, this was a lot of work. This tree must have been a bit of a struggle for them. But at least they know this one isn't going to stand itself back up. Yeah, look at this thing. It's amazing that the root system didn't just pop out from bending it that much. This was one of the first X structures I ever found. There's a few more out here that I've looked at. Don't know what they mean. I don't know what they're supposed to symbolize. I've been told, do not walk underneath them if you want to live. I've also been told that they're just simply markers for gathering places. This one's kind of cool because if you look, that tree, it got pushed over, the roots are still attached, and it got hung up in this tree, and then this one broke off right there, still attached, and you know, its top's down here on the ground, and it formed this X. Definitely you could attribute this to Mother Nature. Stuff like this happens, but it's just kind of interesting, I guess, coincidence of Mother Nature that they make these X's. And there's other ones out here I'm gonna try to get to today. Other strange coincidences of falling limbs and trees that just happen to form these nice X's. So I'm definitely in familiar ground. These are two huge stumps that I've looked at before. And that one up there, that one's probably the biggest stump I've ever found out here. It's been pretty bad shape though, it's pretty rotted away. But this right here's always caught my attention. You know, it's not necessarily an X structure, but it's like one. It's a cross type structure. You know, it's hung up right there on some twigs, some branches, and then it does conveniently land pretty centered. But like I said, it's different than X structures I've looked at. It's kind of more like a cross, but it definitely forms an X. You know, whether or not that's Mother Nature or the work of a Sasquatch, that's definitely debatable. We are very near an area where I had a vocalization experience last summer. Yeah, see, all these are new. All these bent over trees were not here last time I was here, because I would have definitely looked at them. And that's also new. These trees that are bent up into each other. Right here, they go up and bend in. Nothing amazing by any means, but a little strange. This one has some really obvious marks. The sun is unfortunately right where I don't want it right now. So I'll try to get an angle. See if that works. Oh, come on. Okay, see that mark right there? That big gash? That gash happened probably somewhere up there on the tree until it was able to get pushed past it, and then it came down lower. And then now, if you look right there, see, now there's the mark on that tree. And then, so I mean, that's proof that the tree started out snagged up there and got pushed further down, scarred it up, and then I'm gonna get on the other side of the tree. Okay, so now I'm on the other side of the tree and see that big scar in the tree there and all that rub where it's all red. That's where the tree was at first, and then they were able to force the tree down even further. I mean, there's no way that this happened just by wind. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the scar pretty good from here, but the sun is shining, right on it. But that's the scar. And then there's where's the damn tree at now? Well, all those branches in the way, but the logs in the middle of it somewhere now. And so that just really shows a lot of force. It was work getting this thing to bend and sit that way. You can see how, oh, now it won't focus. Let's see, where's it? Right here. You can see a lot of red discoloration in the tree because they went up and down, up and down, up and down, like wedging it and forcing it to stay like that. It's really strange. Look at this thing. And another thing, I haven't really talked about this much, but whenever these are done, all of the branches across the top are gone or bent out of the way, broke off, bent over. That's why I think that they actually climb up these things. I think they actually walk on them. Not sure though. Hey, little bud. That's actually really rare out here. Deer out here in the woods are so skittish. You just don't see them out here because they're always worried they're gonna get shot. I mean, I see deer constantly in the valley by my house, but to actually see them out here in the trees, it's really rare. That's pretty cool. I had a naysayer send me a video about ice storms that can do this to trees. And it was an interesting video because it was. They were bending and breaking. But and it was an interesting video because it was they were bending and breaking. But this area barely got cold enough to snow last winter. I mean, I've been checking all my game cameras. I mean, they barely got a few inches of snow in here. Certainly didn't get any kind of coldness to bend and manipulate trees in here. This is a really moderate forest. It barely ever gets below freezing out here. And the ice storm he was showing me, where trees were curling and cracking, and every tree was doing it too. It wouldn't have been just a little here. And I mean, that whole entire area was decimated. And it was in like Michigan, where they get like, I don't even know, they get cold storms there. Here in Washington, close to the coast, I mean, it doesn't even get much below 40 degrees here most of the time. And so, you know, I'm always open for a naysayer, a non-believer, to try to give me ideas, excuses for what's causing this. But his example, it just doesn't hold up. Because if it happened here and trees started curling and started breaking because it was so cold, I would be finding this everywhere. So here's another one. I suppose I've probably already documented this one, but it just seems different. It's a really skinny one. And look at this scarring on this one. It's kind of in the shadow, but you can see that red that starts right there. So they bent that thing all the way down. It's about, it's hard to say, but I can see red way below that branch. So that branch, the lighting's not good right now, but so you see the distance between the bent tree and this branch in the middle of the screen? Well, the red scrape marks go way below that branch, which means they bent that tree. I mean, that's like, I don't know, every bit of 10 feet down. Let's see if I can get a better angle. God, really look at the gouge in that tree. I mean, it scraped clean through the bark into the meat of the tree. That's a lot of force. Oh, and then look at this. I didn't even notice this. See the scarring here where the tip of it, this is the tip of the tree. It scraped and peeled all that off and then went back up. So both of these trees were trying to keep this thing from coming down. And then that's just where it stayed. So, you know what I think this is? I think this was one that they were trying to make. They were bending it and trying to manipulate it to do, you know, what they've been doing. And it shattered on them. I really do. I think they were playing with this one. I mean, it just violently broke like insane. And it's very well protected in here. I mean, There's no way the wind would get to it. It's completely surrounded by all these big, thick trees. And yet here it is, just completely shattered and broken, and and it broke up top, and it shattered all the way down to there. I mean, that was a lot of force to get that tree to snap like that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. If it wasn't for those other bent trees, I wouldn't think much of it, but considering that I am convinced that they're coming in here and manipulating the trees, I would think this is one that they were playing with and it just broke. And look, that one's, its tops broke off too. See, that's a top tree right there. There we go. See, that's just really unlikely that tree loses its top naturally. Okay, it could happen somehow, I suppose. But then you jump right here, 10 feet over, and this tree also has had this weird, violent happening to it. I mean, you can go out in a park and look at trees. They aren't broken. They aren't mangled. They last for years and years and years. Trees are strong. Trees are flexible. They don't break that easily. Yet in here, they're just broken everywhere. So this right here is something other researchers have talked about that they say Sasquatch does. So see how that tree, it was actually one top and it got broken, turned into two. And now there's actually three tops. It's hard to see that third one. It's that little gimpy little branch that's kind of sticking out of the middle of that U. But then you go up, and then look, all of those got broke, turned into double tops. Then you go up and look, all those got broke and turned into double tops. And they did that on both sides of the tree. I mean, that tree's top has been broke countless times. And it grows into this weird, like, trident thing, and then regrows into another trident, like, over and over and over again. That's a evergreen tree. It's supposed to just be straight, just like one pole, like the other trees next to it are. And there's an alder right there. See, alders do that naturally. They just leaf out and go off in every direction, but evergreen trees don't. They will not do that without manipulation. And that is a really good example of a tree that has been fully manipulated and messed with over and over and over again in order to get that shape and look to it. I mean, if that happened naturally, then that tree has just amazingly bad luck. And it's got top after top after top broke off of it. It's definitely a new one. It's getting dark, so it's going to be hard to really show it. But same thing. Bunch of scars on the main tree. Okay, good, it's coming out. Oh, come on. It's all scarred up. All that red. This tree, look at the bend in it. It comes way over here.
This tree should have been straight up next to this one. It should have been way over here. It doesn't make any sense that it would have naturally ended up way over here, about 15, maybe 20 feet away. It ends up over there, snagging on that tree so much that it has scars all in it. Like, this makes no sense. And it's all scarred up. And then here, I'm gonna pan out, bring the camera down, and I mean, look where that tree's supposed to be, way over here, straight up with these trees, because here's the base of it. I mean, it makes no sense. Somehow it hooked and went way over here and got snagged on that tree. I mean, wind cannot do that. Wind cannot curl a tree like that. And even if I were to entertain the ice storm theory, we didn't have an ice storm this winter. This area had no ice storm. We haven't had ice storms in a few winters. And even our ice storms are too mild for that kind of stuff. And then right over here, these two trees, see if I can get them to come out. These two trees, pretty far apart really, but yet somehow they both ended up getting bent and snagged up way over here. I mean, they both like simultaneously got bent and snagged and got hooked into tree branches way over here. And then coincidentally, jump over here, this tree bent the complete opposite direction of what those trees are bent at. Makes no sense. And we're in the heart of a thick grove of big trees. I mean, look around. We are totally protected from wind. In fact, there's a pretty nice breeze going right now up on the higher mountain. I mean, I was just up in the wind. It's windy right now. And down here in these trees, you don't even see it, feel it. You can barely hear it. I don't even know. Yeah, the mic might pick up the wind right now. I mean, that's actually kind of cool. It's actually quite windy right now. The mic, let's see, I have it on Zoom. I can hear the wind, but here in this forest, we're so protected from wind that you can't even tell it's windy right now. Yet something is doing this to the trees. I mean, look where these trees started, way over here. Those trees should be straight up with these trees. And yet, those trees are way over there, snagged up on a different tree. I don't know if there's scarring or anything on them. They're up so high, I can't tell. But this one, I mean, it should be going straight up with these, way up with those trees. Instead, it goes way over here, and it's wedged and scarred against this alder over here. I mean, it's something is doing this. I know, lightning
won't strike twice in the same spot, you know. But because of everything I find in this valley, you know, the upside down trees and the strange structures, all the weird things I find, footprints, you know, plus I take in account that that's where I saw one. So, you know, yeah, lightning won't strike twice in the same spot, but they come here. They are in this valley. Maybe not every day, year round, I don't know. But I know that this is an important spot for them. There's just way too much evidence that supports that this is an area they use. And with the way that the upside down trees are, some are fresh, some are very old, you know, that makes me believe that they come and go regularly, either seasonal or, you know, generational, or they're always here. I don't know. But, you know, I keep coming back, keep searching the same spots over and over again. And that's pretty much all I can do right now. And it's getting a little disheartening, you know. I'm impatient. I keep thinking, oh, this is going to be the one, this is going to be the one. You know, and problems, tires pop or whatever, my alarm doesn't go off, or, you know, all these problems slow me down. You know, but for now, this is my main research area, and I mean, there's a lot of ground I've not touched here, so I just have to keep plugging away at what I got, I guess. So it is what it is. I'm gonna have to call it though. I'm getting ready to head out. I gotta go home. Gotta go home and be a dad and a husband and a worker. Make money.